How's it, folks? We finally have some news about the Winter Tales update, along with how the Firearm update is coming along and the Tower Raid. The news comes in the form of Timon posting a dev blog, and I'll have that linked in the description, but let's go through it. So he starts off by saying, "We know you're excitedly awaiting Firearms and Tower Raids. Let me assure you that they are happening. The team are working behind the scenes to introduce these features as soon as we can. Guns are being especially heavily tested in the game right now and tweaked, with the hope they will be ready before long. Take a look at this reminder of how Firearms will look in action." So they're still working on it, but from the footage you see, it looks a little bit like shooting pea shooters, quite weak. Hopefully it gets a bit buffed from what they're showing off here. Headshot seems to actually kill them in one go, so that's good. So it's actually the body shots that are taking extra shots to kill them off, so that might not be a bad compromise. I guess we would have to wait to find out more about them. And then he goes on to say, "But let's get back to our smaller scale winter update to get you going. New weapons? For sure. You can expect Polearms and Nocturnal weapons. The former is a new type of melee weapon to poke the infected with. What's interesting is that not only the players shall do the poking, we gave some to the enemies as well, so be aware of the new, more aggressive and harder to defeat version of our good pal, the spearman." So it seems like we're finally getting some spears or polearms to play around with ourselves. And then they're also going to be adding a new enemy variant with these new weapon types as well, so that's quite nice to see. And then the second one, the Nocturnal weapons on the other hand, are another one of our experiments and in part an answer to your suggestions that endgame immunity is starting to become too generous. I think it's about 20 minutes, the immunity when it's maxed out in New Game Plus, which is basically you don't have to bother with it at all, which kind of defeats the whole point of using immunity boosters or the UV shrooms or whatnot. I get where they're coming from with this. We wanted to create a weapon that gives an evident bonus during fights in darkness, but also is connected to some risk. So with Nocturnal weapons, each hit takes away part of the player's immunity, but at the same time they offer huge bonuses against certain enemies or in specific conditions, but only during the night. So that's a pretty decent compromise. I'm definitely looking forward to try that out. If it also is a flat amount that it takes off or a percentage, I'm curious to find out. And then one way of testing it out will probably be starting a chase near like a metro tunnel or near the bazaar with the UV light right there. If it takes away too much of your immunity that you were expecting, you could just backtrack a bit to recover that, but it could make farming easier. I guess we'll have to wait to find out a bit more about it. Definitely looking forward to this because it's kind of unexpected. And then moving on to new enemy variants, we put a spotlight on our dear Goon. A lot of you said that it's a slow enemy that does not feel like a threat for the more experienced players. This is why the Goon will be able to call for allies. It will make the encounters much more dangerous. Actually, when designing him, we were thinking about Godzilla, and it was a lot of fun to get reminded of some of the classic scenes from those movies. But the Goon is not all that's new. We will see some new variants of the gas tank. My personal favorite is the one that can freeze his opponents. So hopefully that new gas tank variant isn't just for the Winter Tales event, but actually part of the base game as well. That'll be pretty cool to get the gas tank to explode, to freeze nearby enemies and then deal with them. Nice bit of crowd control. Interesting to try that out. I'm not so sure about the Goon changes because it's one of those zombies where it was kind of intimidating when you're a very new player and don't really have much skill or experience. And then as you get used to playing the game and encountering more of them, they become very easy to deal with. So it was a nice way of seeing how you progress through the game. Don't know if it will be the same with the changes they make. I guess another thing we're going to have to wait to see about, but a little bit on the ropes about that one. And then coming back to the Winter Tales event, I've mentioned in the beginning, it will be full of entertainment, presents, rewards, and a festive atmosphere. Those presents, for example, will come in the form of some DL-inspired airdrops, courtesy of Santa himself. He's coming to town, bearing gifts, but nothing in Dying Light is so simple. To actually receive them, you'll need to get on Bucker's good side and run some errands for him. Expect a cool outfit that you'll be able to earn and collect during the event, as well as new winter-themed weapons. I'm pretty much convinced that one of the axes that we have there will bring back some sweet Nordic memories of godlike slaughter. Oh, and one more present from us. A free Hakon bundle will be released on December the 19th along with the update and the event. What about snow in Villador? Why not? For the duration of the event, the city will be lightly dusted with fresh and fluffy snow. And where there's snow, there are also snowballs, right? Well, snowball fights will be rather brutal, as you'll be able to throw them at your enemies, freezing them on the spot, and kill them. That's the holiday spirit, right? Okay. The Winter Tales Gifts from Above event will start on December the 19th and last all the way into the new year, ending on January the 5th. Join the celebration. And then he closes off by saying, I won't reveal all of the surprises planned for this winter period, but I'm sure you'll love the festive wonders we have in store for the game. Let us know what you think on our Reddit channel. I'll have that linked in the description. And this is a good place to thank you all for the support throughout this year. I would like to wish you all the best and happy holidays. Stay human. So this picture I'll be showing up here is kind of the main picture they have in the Winter Tales event blog post. So it shows off Aiden with a snowball that he's about to chuck at a happy Santa of Viral. And he's wearing what's probably a new holiday themed mask. And then a bit behind him is elf-themed Aiden with a new bow. And then behind him looks like what's the actual Nordic axe they were alluding to earlier. And then behind that is Bucker dressed out in his little Santa outfit. And then we've got a decked out Demolisher charging at one of the Aidens along with the two Virals. And then in the background, you should be able to see a plane flying above with airdrop packages coming down. So that's probably how they're going to be introducing some of the gifts. So that'll be quite a return to form from back in Dying Light 1. So that's pretty much all the new information we have about the Winter Tales event. Once again, it starts on December the 19th, which I believe is next week Tuesday. And it runs all the way until January the 5th. So plenty of time to complete whatever goals they would have set for the event. And I'll post more videos about the actual event once it's released. Maybe consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date as soon as the event goes live, as I will post some tips or tricks to move through the event fairly quickly. Otherwise, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care and cheers for now.